What are some words I would use to describe Daredevil Born Again as a whole?
A lot of engagement, a lot of depth, a lot of spread, people sharing memes.
That is exactly how I'm going to be describing how I felt about this series as a whole. Look, it's been great to have been back in the grittier side of the Marvel Universe. I've missed it. And the highs of the show was definitely high. Seeing Punisher come back to give a philosophical talk about what to do with bad guys to Matt, dope moment in an otherwise lackluster episode.
A lot of depth, a lot of spread.
The bank robbery episode is, I think, one of the best of the season. And obviously, you can't deny the talent and acting of Vincent D'Onofrio and Matt Murdock coming back as Kingpin and Daredevil, respectively.
A lot of depth, a lot of spread.
There's a lot of depth and a lot of spread to these characters that the actors bring to life beautifully. However, the pacing and story structure of this definitely knocked this down a peg for me. Use this setup in comparison to what eventually happens to him, disproportionate. He's set up and then discarded rapidly. The trial of Hector is pretty good. The aftermath of the fate of Hector doesn't have any weight to it at all.
People sharing memes.
But it's immediately undercut by the story of a guy stealing fiddle faddle and crying about how the system is against him even though you stole the fiddle faddle. And yes, that's a story that happens to people every day and it's tragic, but is that really the thing that pushes Matt over the edge to become a superhero again? Or is it the innocent vigilante who has the whole NYPD coming down on him and also didn't look both ways before running down a street?
People sharing memes.
Don't even get me started on the whole Adam Kingpin storyline. It's just a therapeutic exercise for Vanessa and Wilson. The death of Foggy was the inciting incident of the show, but the mystery behind who did it and why doesn't come up till the penultimate episode.
A lot of spread.
His death for the longest time was only a tool to develop the character of Matt. And once the question comes up, that gets answered fairly easily, and I think Foggy deserved a bit better than that. Now, at the end of the day, I understand that this is a story of both Wilson Fisk and Matt Murdock hiding who they truly are, the Kingpin and Daredevil respectively.
A lot of depth, a lot of spread.
And to be honest, I think it worked out a lot better for Wilson Fisk than it did for Matt, because Wilson Fisk is effectively the Thanos of this show, who basically is the villain that wins everything. Brad Winterbaum did say that's exactly what he wanted Wilson Fisk to be. The season ends with him having his Black Order or the NYPD running the streets doing whatever they want. And Matt and all other vigilantes now have their backs against the wall, basically having to play catch up, which is an interesting place to end the season. However, it feels like it's set up for season 2. Like my boy Daniel said, there's a lot of depth, a lot of spread, maybe too much spread, people sharing memes, people are engaging with it, and that's fine. I can engage with it, but Daredevil Born Again is nowhere near as great as the Netflix series. It didn't grab me as much, so it isn't that big of a hook, but I am happy to be back in this world with these characters, with the depth that this show provides. It's just not the best thing to come out of Marvel television like I thought it was going to be. And maybe that's my fault for expectations. And I think, people are going to look at this and say, oh, well, you just can't be happy, or you're just being a snob. Or, no, it didn't hit me on an emotional level. Sorry.
People sharing memes.